And
So Sandy Millington with another question: Type 1 or Type 2 Silver Eagle?
oh, Type One all the way. Not a fan of the Type Two. I stopped stacking ASEs in 2021, and I've never mentioned it. This is a live with friends, so I can say it here. But my last purchase of ASEs was a monster box of Type Ones, 2021s.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never shared that on YouTube videos. I don't share everything on YouTube. I do have some silvers that I kind of have the deep stack that I don't do videos on. Hard to work all that stuff into a video, and I like to share knowledge and talk to the community, not in it to really kind of do a show off type deal with.
Hmm.
So I kind of leave a lot of the stuff out, to be honest.
Can I
Or not like
ask you a follow up
what
question on that? Two-part question. Why 21 type ones? Because is it the because obviously it's the last year, but the rarity factor. And why a monster box? Do you think like they were going to really take off in value, or?
I know. That was just pure stacking at the time, 500 ounces in one shot, and figured I just go with the Type One instead of the Type Two. And I grabbed the only Type Twos I believe I have in my stack are I bought first strike slabs and put two examples in there just to have the Type Twos. So I think
Yeah.
those are the only two Type Twos I have to this day. No, I actually have some in sets. That's right, US Mint sets, but very few. I don't even have a tube of the Type Two.
Do you still
see
have that
that's
monster box, or have you sold it, or?
I almost never sell, so which is a problem. So I have it.
I got no. That's not a problem. Why is that a problem?
Well, eventually your wife snoops around and wonders why you have immense amounts of silver, and that's part of the advantage to being a vintage silver stacker. Is I'm like this old bar, I've had this forever.
Yeah. Well,
nice.
you could fit a lot of fiat into a small area with the vintage and with gold too. I mean, let's face it. Those gold bars you have there are, worth quite a bit more than most of that silver that's on the table.
Yes, yeah, and that's talked about an awful lot. I mentioned, you know, a past stacker swapping out his vintage for gold to make it easier on his wife. And there's a lot of that. I mean, eventually, I'll have to liquidate my vintage collection and turn it into generic bullion or gold for the sake of passing it along. I won't be able to liquidate 100% of it, but a good chunk of it. I'm far from that. I don't mind sharing my age. I'm 49, so I have a ways to go. Hopefully, kind of in midlife.
Yeah. You know what though? I mean, the gold that you choose is also vintage gold, right? It's also, I would imagine there's premiums on that as well.
Yeah, there's premiums on vintage gold, but it's a little bit different of a market. It's not as common as the silver. Silver is a lot more obtainable for more folks. The vintage gold, you don't see it at local coin shops a lot. You really have to hunt for it. A matter of fact, I think the only piece that came from a coin shop I brought 4.5 ounces to share. A lot of my vintage gold is fractional. I left a lot of it out of the video, but this is the bulk of it as far as weight. This one here was at a coin shop. The rest of these were found on auction sites elsewhere. You just don't see them in coin shops very often. And quite frankly, it's not really, if you're serious about gold, it's not a good option. I would stick with, if you're American, I would stick with American silver eagle, American gold eagles, or buffaloes by far. Most liquid bullion coin, you're going to be far ahead versus getting less than generic pricing, maybe trading those into a coin dealer.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you're going to trade them in and you need to do it quickly, you're
Yep.
not going to be able to get what they're worth. The gold price.
Another UK question: Do you have anything from the Royal Mint?
Yeah. Well, in what regard? I have the old Royal Mint bars here in 10 ounce. I have some 1 ounce, so Royal Mint vintage. Oh, the Royal Mint, not the Canadian Royal Mint. The Royal Mint.
Across the pond.
I think I got rid of almost I got rid of all of my Royal Mint silver except for a couple pieces. It's some of the only silver I've sold, and if you could probably guess why, it's going to be the quality control issues with milk spotting. I just cannot stand it. I think I have one tube of Britannias. Yes, they're milk spotted. So I have a complete tube of Britannia somewhere. And then for gold, I got into the 2 to B series in quarter ounce, but then gold spiked. And if I'm going to pay premiums on gold, being silver struck, you can guess the premiums are going to be paid on gold prospectors and not Royal Mint.
Right. Pre-33?
Pre-30, yes. I have a bunch of pre-33s. I'll see if I have some. I have some of my PCGS boxes behind the set here. Here's some here. I have slabbed as well as raw. So here we have an Indian incused. This one in Mint State 62, 1910. So I've got a bunch of these. And the pre-33s have come down in premium, I've noticed quite a bit. So yeah, I get into pre-33s for sure.
I was picking up some of those late, well, not some, like a couple late last year because the premiums were down on them a little bit.
It's I come from my father as well as my father-in-law were both what you would call stackers, and so I have a legacy stack from both of those people that I don't share that much. I've done a couple videos showing some of their silver, but I was left some pre-33 that I've never shown on video from one of them, and that's basically the bulk of my pre-33 stack was handed to me. That's something that I'm looking forward to do for my kids. So hand that down the line.
It's the good thing about our channels. We're not that popular, so sharing stuff on here doesn't go too far.
You guys are awesome. You have a great crowd here and a lot of familiar names, so that's why I felt comfortable coming on and talking to you guys.
We're hoping to grow it, but like the crowd we have is awesome, and it's been cool. It's been fun. Silver Sleuth says, "Are Roman numeral gold eagles considered vintage?"
Wow. That's an awesome question. I think that because it's a U.S. coin, that it would be more considered numismatic than it would be vintage per se. There's some of those areas that might cross over a little bit, but I would say that that's more of a numismatic advantage than it is a vintage gold advantage.
Then 365 says, "Is it true that every tube of silver Britannia contains 1.5 pints of milk?"
At least absolutely, he would know. One good thing about silver from the Royal Mint is that if it doesn't have milk spots, you know it's fake.
Yeah, that's a good authenticity thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Very true.
So I have a question for you. The fractional gold buffaloes, do you have any of those? Are they worth investing in, or is it something we should pass by? Because there's one down at the coin shop right now, but I think he wants a little bit too much for it.
Well, a couple things. Back to the community knowing a ton of information. There's a comment further back. I'm going to answer your question, but Peter J chimed in on the vintages of the 1983 Sunshine sets, and there's 10,000 made, and he has a low number set. So again, the community here, just a wealth of knowledge, and I appreciate that. Peter J putting that in the comment section. So rolling that forward to the 2008 Buffalo. The reason I was talking about the community is because they'll correct me yet again if I misspeak here. I believe the 2008 Buffalo is the only fractional Buffalo year. Is that right?
To my understanding, that's correct. Yeah.
So that's a buy for me. If you have only 1 year ever made of something like that.
Well, the thing is, it's a 1/10. And the price he's got on it is north of $800.
That's
Is that the market? Is that what they go for?
I haven't looked at them because as the style that I collect in, I'm resistant to paying premiums on unless I absolutely have to. And that the one example again would be this collection of proofs where I paid all sorts of money for these, but there was a very specific collection, and that I picked on that one area. So if I was into American buffaloes and had the opportunity to collect the only fractional year of the buffalo, if the going rate's $800, that's a personal decision you have to make. But that's awesome, and that's going to be also a tougher round or tougher coin rather, U.S. coin, tougher coin to be able to get for a cheaper price if you think about it, because everyone who's selling that is probably going to know it's the only year that's fractional. So those are only going to increase in value, in my opinion.
Okay, so is it blue collar? Is it raw? I'm guessing it's raw.
No, it's actually it's in like I don't even know what the hell you would call it. It's like I think it's original packaging, but it's like a wooden box with a display and authenticity, the whole deal. I've never really came across one before, and I saw it and I was like, oh, well, let's talk about that. But it had a price tag on it. Like I said, it was around $825. I thought that was crazy, and of course I walked away from it. But
Similar to this?
I'm sorry. Oh, let me see. Let me you gonna put it up on screen? Let's see what we got here. Where is it? Oh yeah. Hold on. Yeah, actually, let me make that big. Give me a second. I'm fumbling here. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, exactly like that. Yes.
Anyone's how much for it?
$825, I think he had it on it.
I'm not saying you should buy it. It's a personal decision whether you spend your money on a premium like that. But
Right.
if there's only 1 year that's ever been made of something like that, that's for me, that would be kind of a tell to where I would definitely consider spending more money on something like that, because it's a low mintage 1 year collectible, and it's now transcending bullion value and going into collectibles and numismatics.
Yeah, way into though.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
that one.
that's what
That
happened.
one that I just showed you was a sold comp on eBay, and it sold for $16.99.
Whoa. So maybe it is a good pickup then.
Well,
I'm not saying, but that's what the sold
I'm
comp on
taking your
eBay is.
advice. This is financial advice.
there you go. Blame Vegas for it, okay?
I will. Believe me, I will.
You can blame me for that one. I'll take the blame for that one.
I'll give you can you give me a buyback guarantee of 1,400?
Hey, maybe that was. Hold on a second. Maybe that's. Oh, don't listen to me. That's for the quarter ounce.
Oh.
There's no 10th ounce on here. I'm looking on eBay right now, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to do a little research. Not that I'm in a position to go drop $800 right now, but
I know who picked up some of them before the premiums got too snaky. That was Fish, our buddy Fish.
Yeah.
Some of the 2008 Buffaloes.
Yeah, so Dub says there are some, and it's about 900 on there.
And I just found one on eBay for 900.
Which makes sense because he has a big presence on eBay, and he would probably offer it just below the eBay premium, that he's paying. So,
well, it's one. If you don't pick it up, it's certainly one to be out on the lookout for anyone that's interested in buffaloes.
Yeah, for sure.
It would be a cool piece to have.
Yeah, I know they didn't make very many of them, and they only did the 1 year.
Just 2008, yeah.
The information just keeps on flowing. Thank you so much, Silverstruck. Check out part 8 coming soon.